Hello everybody, welcome back to Board and Savior. That was kind of a weird wave, but we're moving on. I have not played over 30 of the games that I own. I bought them. I paid for them. My bank account went down in dollars because of them, and I've only ever looked at them. What's up with that? You want to know. I'm here to tell you. We're going to look at all of the games that I have not yet played, and all of these games I will play by the end of the year. So this video, we're going through the preview of that end of the year video. We're looking at what I will be playing. And at the end of the year, I'm going to talk about all of the games that I owned, that I hadn't played, that I have now played. And I'm going to say, this one was great. This one sucked. I'm selling it. I don't care about this one. You should never buy this one. All that stuff. So this is the preview. These are the games that I, at one point in my life, thought I should buy so that I could play. And then months or years went by without playing them. Let's find out what these games are. Okay, these three boxes are from the wall behind me. And you might have assumed that like the games on the wall behind me are there because like I endorse them in some way. I endorse the fact that they're square shaped. That's really why they're there. All the rest of these games, actually, I do say they're good and they're worth your time. But these three I haven't played, and they're simply there because of the shape of the box. So just so you know. But if they're still there at the end of the year, then oh boy, you know that they're good. Wildlands and Vengeance both I have in my collection because of one Mr. Mike DeLisio of the Dice Tower. Mike DeLisio likes both of these games. I like Mike DeLisio. Therefore, both of these games are in my collection. I saw this and this and this, all three of them. And this is going to be true for, I don't know, maybe like 5 more games in the unplayed. I found all three of these at Half Price Books in Austin, Texas. And Half Price Books sells board games at really good prices. And so when I've heard of a board game that someone that I like has recommended and it's like $30 cheaper than you can find it anywhere else, I'm usually just going to pick it up, regardless of how many million games I have in my collection that I have not yet played. And I just kind of add them to the pile of shame. But that's really the deal with all three of these. These two, again, Mike DeLisio said, these are good. This one, I know that you can play solo, and I was buying a lot of like solo-y games in Texas because I didn't have as many board gaming buddies there, but I've got them here in Buffalo, so that's kind of why I haven't touched this one yet. This one, I feel like is going to be one of the first that I will play because I do have those board gaming buddies, and this seems like a nice, simple, like skirmishy kind of tactical thing, and that's the type of thing that we really like to play. The others, I love Cthulhu Death May Die. This is the game that Eric Lang made before that, and it has a lot of kind of similarities, except whereas Death May Die is totally cooperative, this is one versus all. And so that interests me, like a version of Death May Die where it is more of like a head-to-head, you're fighting against a person kind of game. That sounds pretty cool. I will say I really like Death May Die, and so I wonder if I'm going to feel the need for both of them, even with the different like way that you play, but I have to play it to know if I will. So that's these three. They're going to go back on the shelves, and everything else will be from other shelves throughout the apartment that you don't see as much. So enjoy the mystery games. All right, kids and squids, let's just breeze through the rest of the Half Price Books games that I bought on a whim because they were at good prices. First of all, Star Wars the deck building game. I like Star Wars. I like deck building. It feels like a no-brainer. Dice Tower people like this. I like Dice Tower people, so grabbed this one. I feel like this will be pretty easy to get to the table. I don't foresee it being a big issue playing that one. Attack on Titan, the deck building game. I have another Attack on Titan game called Attack on Titan: The Last Stand that I got because I thought, how could this possibly be good? And then it was quite good. And so I saw this, and I had the exact same thought. I saw it in Half Price Books, and I was like, I'm going to look this up, and if it's remotely good, I have to buy it, because the last time I mistrusted an Attack on Titan game, it punished me and said, I'm great, actually. I'm a very good game. And so I got this one because people like it. Apparently, it's a pretty solid game, And it seems a little bit more like dense to get to the table than Star Wars, but I have one friend who's a really big Attack on Titan fan, and so I think the property alone will be enough to get this to the table for us. So that's this one. Then we've got Istanbul, which totally just picked this up because it is such a classic, and I like playing these kind of Euro game classics with my family. We like our, Takanokos, you like the Ticket to Ride kind of thing, even Catan. I know people are all poo-pooing Catan, but what are you talking about? Catan's great. Hush. So Istanbul feels like one of those games that if you're a board gamer, you should probably just play it, and when you see it in half-price books for like $20, yeah, pick it up, grab it. But I haven't played it yet, so I got to bring that over to my family home and get it to the table. This is Robo Rally. Kind of similar with Istanbul, where it's just like, this is a game that I've heard so much about that like kind of everyone has heard of, but I hadn't played it, and it was cheap, and I love the there's like little metal colored, like metal painted robots that are all super adorable. I like the idea of a programmable game. I don't have any. I don't think I have any program games, and so that's a unique kind of thing to have in the collection, and feels like, again, kind of a classic, sort of like you want this in your collection to be sort of cool and whatever. So when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it, but I haven't played it, and maybe it sucks, I don't know. And then this one is the one that I gotta say, least pumped about, Aeon's End Legacy, just because like you'll see there's a few more. I've got a couple Legacy games that I haven't broken open. I have a bunch of Legacy games that I have broken open and have not finished, and so adding another one that's got like more rules and cards and stuff, it feels a little daunting. And this one, I just, like, it really was, I'd heard the name, and sometimes you know how you're like itching to buy something and you go to a store and you're like, show me something to buy, and the store shows you like one thing that you're like 10% interested in, and you just wanted to buy something, so you buy that thing. That was this. I know people like it, so maybe I'll like it, but like I opened it up and I looked at the art, and the art doesn't really inspire me particularly. So I don't know. There's a real chance that this one, the deal is I have to play the games that are in my collection at the end of the year. I might just not play this and remove it from my collection. It's possible. So leave in the comments if you're like, oh, I love Aeon's End Legacy, you gotta play it. Because I'm a little iffy on it. It's a cool looking box, I will say that. More games in 1 second. All right, I mentioned Legacy games, and I thought I had 3, but I guess not. There's only 2 that I haven't broken open at all. It's all the ones that I have opened that are keep making me think that I have a million Legacy games right now. These are the 2 Legacy games that I have not ever played one time. Pandemic Legacy, my friend got me for, I believe, Christmas, like 2 or 3 years ago, and I would love to play it, but I've got 4 Legacy games that I'm in the middle of, so, but it's not his fault, right? Like, he knows that I like Pandemic, he knows that I like Legacy games, so he got what many people say is the greatest Legacy game of all time for me, so that was very kind. What is someone's fault is Kinfire Chronicles, and that person is me. I know that I have too many Legacy games, and I bought it anyway. Why did you do that? Just because, no pun included, said that it's so good and it looks so fun and all the acrylic pieces look amazing and I want to play it so bad? Yeah, that's why I bought it, and no, I haven't opened it. I'm still playing Oathsworn. I'm still playing Imperial Assault. I'm still playing Undaunted. I'm playing so many. But I do have Kinfire Chronicles, and I'm really excited about playing both of these. It's just that thing that many of us know, which is, that when you open it, you're opening up so many game nights, and so that's a little daunting. It's a little daunting to commit to like the first game night of 40. So that's the deal with Kinfire Chronicles. But I am, and like, what a box, right? What a box, where your box is, oh yeah, and your box is that's how you put the things out on the board. Whoa, I love it. Whoa, wowie, I love it. I love when magnets are included in games. Magnets are, you could sell me on a game with just a couple magnets, I'm telling you. And they did. I sure did buy it. Hello, it's a tiny box alert. Look at this. Air, Land, and Sea. The green box is one of my just favorite games ever. I love it to a ridiculous degree. It's a tiny box with just the most goodness that you could possibly put into something that small. This is a follow-up, Spies, Lies, and Supplies, which you can either play as a standalone box or you can work it into the green box's contents, and I just haven't played this one. I've had it for a little while. I got it because I love regular Air, Land, and Sea so much, and at least to this point, I have not played it because I'm like, well, if I'm gonna seek an Air, Land, and Sea experience, I seek the one that I love. But I gotta play this one because I love the first one. So maybe this is better. Maybe it's just different. A new flavor of Air, Land, and Sea. Very excited to give this one a go. And not a very daunting box to tackle either. Then we've got Paolo Mori's Caesar. This is so similar. I love Blitzkrieg, and Caesar is Blitzkrieg, but I believe a little bit, just a smidge more complicated. I mean, it's a different thing, right? It's a different thing, but there's a similar flavor. My boys over at Shut Up and Sit Down said Caesar was very fun, very good, and so I picked this one up. This is not half price books. This was like eBay, I think, but just haven't gotten around to it yet. But again, these two, kind of all these boxes of this size, I think are easy to convince people to try. Like, there's an implication of not too many rules, so I think these will all be pretty doable. Excited about Caesar. Subterra is a game that I have put out on my table a few times, and I know so much about it that I feel like I've played it, but I've never actually done the deed. I've never played the game, so I got to do it. Feels like an easy one to just play by myself, even if people aren't feeling it. Works solo, and yeah, you're exploring a little cave. It is just a nice, pretty little box, and the pieces are cute, and it's scary. I don't love the artwork so much, but the game, the contents of the game are plenty for me to be excited about getting this one actually played. I don't know why I'm weird about this one. I feel like I've opened the box and set it up to play multiple times, and then just something has come up and I've needed to put it away to do something else. I don't know, it's weird. This one feels like it's eluding me somehow. It has a way about it. Factory Funner, I just got this for Christmas. Factory Fun is a lovely game that is not lovely. It's a good game that is quite ugly. And then Factory Funner, look at this box. Look at don't you want to play it? It's so colorful, it's so beauteous, and in my call, I was like, I'm gonna get rid of Factory Fun, and then no one bought it, so I still have it. But now that I have Factory Funner, I double need to get rid of it, because why would I have both? This is funner, obviously. Of these, I think this is the one that I'm the most excited to play, just because it's a game that I already know that I love, that improves upon it. This one, I don't know if it improves on a game that I love, so I'm pumped for that one. And then Furnace, this is totally just Matt Lees at Shut Up and Sit Down talked very positively about it, and I did the thing that many people who watch their videos do, and instantly bought it and then never ever played it. I'm not saying that people do that after their videos. That's just me. That's a me thing. But I want to play this. This one is a little bit, not complicated, but it's a more of a, hey guys, it's a cute little box, but you are going to have to think. We are going to have to be mean to each other and take things away from each other. And that's not always the vibe. And when it is the vibe, I feel like usually we want to do it in a more sci-fi themed way, as opposed to old capitalism vibes. That's, and if you're going old capitalism, you're going for brass, right? Furnace and brass. What are we doing here? But it's its own thing. I just gotta actually play it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I swear. Oh, hey. Wow, we've got a stack here. Let's go through them. First of all, Captain Sonar. Wowee. This has been just like an absolute bane to get played. And I think it will remain that way for the rest of this year. I don't know when the time is going to be right to play this. Because, like, you really want 2 teams of 3 people or 2 teams of 4 people. Like that, it feels like that's the move. And I am rarely in a situation where that many people are around a table willing to play a somewhat complicated game. Not like crazy, but you got to learn a game. You really do. And yeah, I'm just not in those environments very often, but oh my gosh, this game, it looks like just the most amazing game ever. And I know it's old at this point. Like I've had it for a while, but it's older than even as long as I've had it. But wow, does this one ever look like one where, like, if the stars align, you are going to have a remarkable gaming experience. I really hope I can get this one played. I hope it can happen. All right, Champions of Midgard. Maybe I'm gonna say, yeah, the single game in this whole list of games that I've had in my collection for the longest without playing. This is a game that I owned as base Champions of Midgard for a few years, and then purchased the Valhalla expansion, put it in this box, and have owned it that way for over a year, and have still not played it. I talked about not playing this in a video that I put up last year, and people were like, you gotta play it. And I said, I know, you're absolutely right, I will. And then I didn't, because there's other worker placement games, you know? There's other ones that are really, really good. But I have to play this one. I cannot let this be one of the games on this list that just leaves my collection. I've gotta play this one. I know that I'm gonna like it. I know that it's good. It just hasn't happened. It is a great shame of mine that I have not played Champions of Midgard. It's happening this year. It's gonna happen. Yinch! I don't have a ton of abstract games, but this is one that just seems like a real winner, like a exactly what you want out of an abstract game. It is always very impressive to me when someone can come up with a new, chess, checkers kind of abstract game where you hear the rules and you're like, yeah, that sounds like a game that could have been around for hundreds of years that we've all been playing this whole time. That's just very cool to me. This is the only in the GIPF project that I own. I would own Devon. I would own Tsar, but I just don't. And maybe that's good because I haven't played Yinch yet. And so if I had those, maybe they would just also be unplayed. No particular reason that I haven't played this yet. It's just, I don't find myself often like in the mood for an abstract game. I feel like this is the kind of thing that you play after you've played another game and you're like, I still want to play something, but I don't know exactly what. That feels like when you break this out, and there have just been others that have usurped it when I've been looking for such a game. All right, then we've got Flamme Rouge. Flamme Rouge, another shut up and sit down recommendation. Quinns loves this one. I love Quinns, and so that's why I own it. This feels like one that will be pretty doable to actually get to the table. I watched their playthrough of the game. It doesn't seem crazy complicated. Just seems like a fun, smart game. Just got to get around to it. Just got to actually set it up and then say, hey guys, we're playing this. And I think everyone will go, okay, you got it. Yeah, I think that one won't be too bad. Cosmic Encounter, this is a big shame. Because I haven't owned this version longer than Champions of Midgard, but I have owned a version of Cosmic for longer than Champions of Midgard. I owned that like Avalon Hill version. It was probably the 4th or 5th board game that I bought when I started this obsession in like sophomore year of college, and I had the Avalon Hill version and I never played it because I was like I learned a few months after buying that version that this version existed and that this was kind of the agreed upon better version. So I had it in my head that I was like, I'm just not going to play it till I get this version. And then I got this version and I didn't play it. The 3-player minimum player count hurts it. I play a lot of my games at 2, but not all of them. So I've just got to find the time and make it happen to play this one at 3, 4, or 5. I learned all of the rules like a month ago, and not like all the rules, like there's so many, but I sat down and I read through the whole rule book. I watched a gameplay video, and then it just didn't get played that day. So I'm prepared. I'm ready. This one can go at a moment's notice. It can come off of this list. I just have to do it. And then, oh man, Netrunner. If you know me, you know that I love the Game of Thrones living card game more than many, many games in the world. And Android Netrunner feels like it shares a spirit, a very thematic, very smart, strategic card game made by Fantasy Flight as well. I don't know if there's a design. No, I don't think so. A design crossover between the two. I do not believe so. But a living card game from Fantasy Flight that requires you to be clever and be a little tricky boy. I love being a little tricky boy with cards. This is like the period of this list where I go like, I'm sorry. I wish that I had played these by this point. Like I don't have a good excuse. I'm just bungling it. I just keep breaking out Game of Thrones, the card game, and ignoring Netrunner. And it's to my detriment, I know. But I'm fixing it. I swear to you. All right, another large stack. And then we've got only 6 more games. We can do this. We're getting there. We're close. Nemo's War. This I bought in my solo game buying frenzy when I was terrified that I was going to be alone in my gaming days for the rest of time. And then I moved back here where people like to play board games. So I didn't need to buy this one, but now I have to play it. This one, I mean, it's a smart game. I've watched reviews. I've watched like how to plays. It seems a little complicated. Seems a little complicated to commit to doing all by myself without someone else to like help with any of that. But I did commit, and so I will play. It's just like, I don't know, man. The font alone makes me feel like it's gonna be a little denser than I want. But we'll see. I feel like if I get through it, if I get through my first play successfully, then I might be on board. Boat. Submarine. Comedy. All right, speaking of water, Aquatica, a board game whose name means water to ka. That was a good joke, thank you. It's got little plastic rays. I really like those. Those are great. This is like in the solo buying era. I know that you can play this one non-solo, but I love little card-based combo-y games. That's why I have this one. I think, like many of the other games that I've mentioned, once this is on the table, I think everyone will be on board. Stop saying on board with water ones. Stop it. Yeah, I don't think this one's going to be too hard to actually play. It's just with the glut of games that I haven't played. I don't know at what point on the journey this one like needs to be played. This one seems like a solid game, but maybe not one that you like write home about as much. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's kind of the vibe that I get, where this one feels like that's a good game, but I don't know that I need to play it again tomorrow. But like 6 months from now, I'm like, oh yeah, Aquatica was good. Maybe I'll play that again. That's the vibe. We'll see if that holds true. Sonora. I really like little dexterity flicking games. Crokinole, great. Catacombs, great. Sonora, just another one of those. This one has kind of the fun, like flick and right element to. Oh, it says on the back, flick and right. I thought I was clever. I wasn't. This is a flick and right. So as you're flicking, you're marking things down with like, I think a little expo marker kind of thing. And yeah, I like flicking games and I like expo markers. They smell great. Breathe deeply. Yeah, feels like that one, any kind of family gathering, you could break that out and everyone would have fun. Hey, Pedal to the Metal. This was, for I think a lot of people, a white whale of sorts, just because it was so sold out all the time. And so when it was no longer sold out, I clicked buy faster than you could ever believe. And then I did not open the box and play faster than you could ever believe. There's rules, so you got to learn the rules. And would you rather learn the rules, or would you rather play a game that you already know the rules to and you like it already? So that's kind of why this one hasn't been played yet. I also don't have, I've got Flamme Rouge, that is a racing game. I had Formula Day that I replaced for this, but I haven't really found a racing game. I played Jamaica. I haven't found a racing game that I love. And so I think, I'm fingers crossed, this or Flamme Rouge might be that one that scratches that, need for speed that I've got as a fast and furious young man. Then we've got Lords of Hellas. This is really an example of my sickness, because Shut Up and Sit Down, I think, very reasonably said, this game has good things to it, but there are other games that do this stuff better. And I said, but do they have the same miniatures? And the game said, no, we have different miniatures. It's different pieces of plastic. And I said, then that's fine by me. Have my money. Thank you. And the reason that I haven't played is fully because games like Kemet, Cyclades, Inish exist. I've got Dudes on a Map games that are great. So why am I going to play this one? Well, because I said I would by the end of this year. That's why I'm going to play this one. And maybe it's good. Maybe I'll have a lovely time. Or maybe I'll wish that I was playing Kemet. I think there's a real possibility that this one does not stand the test of time in my collection, depending on the first play or two. Just because, if the first play or two are fine, I don't know that I need to find a great play in it when I know that great plays exist in those Matago kind of Dudes on a Map games. And finally, The Search for Planet X. I don't have any games like this in my collection. These kind of logic-based puzzly games. And so I wanted one in my collection, and I think this one sounds like a lot of fun. Just a matter of actually playing it. Just a matter of getting it to the table and finding the right group who is cool with that, logic puzzly kind of thing. Not to say that that's not appealing to a wide range of people, but I'm going to say it. It's not appealing to a wide range of people. I think you need a specific group or a specific solo one other person to find to really be the right fit for this game. It also says 1 to 4 players, so I could play it solo. I don't know why this one gives me the sense that I should play it with multiple people. What do you think if you've played this game? Does it work solo? Does it not? Let me know. All right, moving on. Okay, before I talk about these, let me ask you a question. What do you think the percentage of board games are that are either sci-fi or fantasy? Because just from this list, so many are sci-fi and fantasy. It feels like sci-fi fantasy history is 90% of board games. And then the other 10% is everything else. I don't know, maybe zombies is in there. Cthulhu. I don't know. It feels like, it doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. But it's just, I noted it. I'm noting it. It is interesting to me. Beyond the Sun. Tech trees. Who doesn't like tech trees? Kemet is one of my favorite games because of the tech trees. I'm just going to be real with you. I mean, Giant Scorpion helps, but tech trees, they're so cool. It's just such a satisfying thing to go up and upgrade the things that you can do and get better and better and better at. And this is a game that is tech tree the game, really, but it is also, and I'm sorry if I'm just beating a dead horse here, it's one where you set this up and your friends look at you and they're like, how long is the rules explanation going to be, Ben? And I go, maybe an hour. And they say, could you take this off the table and play something that we've already played? And I go, okay, that's fine. Yeah. But maybe I'll force them to watch a video before they come over. Maybe that's the move. Because I really want to play this. I really want to play this. I have had this one for a while and have just been itching to find the moment. Because I know that I'm going to like it. I know I am. The next game, I would not say the same. I would not say that I know I am going to like Cloudspire, but I sure did buy it. Because when a game is as heavy physically as this one is, how do you, if you've got a problem in your brain, how do you not buy it? I don't know. I was unable to deduce the answer to that question before buying this game. And I bought it knowing full well that this is widely regarded as one of the heaviest in actual difficulty board games that is like currently on the market, that's not like some kind of war game sort of thing. It is known for being ridiculously complicated. Every faction has a bunch of rules, and you kind of sort of want to know what both of the factions do if you're playing a 2-player game. You kind of want to know what 3 of the factions do if you're playing a 3-player game. So there's a lot of rules overhead in this one, but you can play it solo. That appeals. You can play it co-op. You can play it 1v, like head-to-head sort of thing. There's a lot of ways to play it, and yeah, I did do this stupid thing of buying like all the stuff for it before knowing if I liked it. So I guess if I hate it, hopefully I can get a good amount of money when I resell it. Yeah. Oh, the pieces are so good though. Like sometimes I just open this up and I just touch the pieces. I'm not even kidding. The pieces are that good. I really want to play this and like it to justify the impact that this has on my floors, on the foundation of my home. The fact that my home is sinking into the mud because of this game's presence in the home. I hope I like it. I hope I don't have to ship this anywhere ever again. Cloudspire. Here, listen to this. That wasn't an exaggeration. That's just the sound that it made. I didn't up the audio in post. That's the sound that it made. And finally, Mythic Battles Pantheon. I don't know if you remember me talking about Lords of Hellas 2 seconds ago, and how sometimes when a game just has like really good miniatures, I don't like look that deeply into how good the game is because a problem. This is one of those. Like, I looked into the game. I watched a review video. I watched Sam Healy and somebody else talk about the game, and they seemed like they liked it well enough, and that was enough for me. That 2 people whose opinions on games I don't usually go to were like, yeah, it's pretty good. For me to go, okay, give me 1 million miniatures then, please. That's what I did. I do like this kind of game, so I hope I will like this iteration of this kind of game. But it looks a little, maybe like a little overwrought, a little messy. I don't know. We'll see. This is a real we'll see. And I hope that I like it. I don't know if it's in this box, because I've already started painting them, and there's like good parts to this paint job, but I don't love it overall. I think it's too brown, but the back of him looks really good. I think the back of him is really cool looking, but I don't know if all the colors really work together super well. Yeah, I don't know, but I would love to paint these guys, because like, holy crap, there are just some, like, it's ridiculous. These miniatures are silly. And I did. If someone does rebuy this, you are frickin' welcome. I labeled all of them. I went through, because this is one of the games where like all you have to go on is the sculpt and then an illustration that tries to look kind of like the sculpt, and you have to like match them up. So if anybody does ever buy this from me secondhand, you are welcome. This took so long to figure out who everybody was in this box, because there's a few somebodies in this box. All right, last 3 games coming up. The end is nigh. 878 Vikings. Shut up. Sit down. They like it. I like them. I also really, really like one-on-one, big map, lots of guys, 2 generals being strategic, battling it out. Love that kind of thing. Star Wars Rebellion, Twilight Struggle, War of the Ring, big games around here. So when me and the friend that play those games together, when we're not in the mood for one of those, I think this hits the table real easy. I don't think I'm going to have any trouble getting this one played. Expeditions in the world of Scythe. First of all, thank you very much to Stonemeyer Games for sending this to me. Very sweet of you. I am looking forward to playing it. Second of all, I don't like Scythe. I really don't. It was in my Cull video. I got rid of it. I don't care for it. But this is in the world of Scythe. It is not based on the mechanisms of Scythe. And so that is enough to make me very interested in playing this game. A game that I know you can play with more than one player, but it feels like it lends itself to solo play. So I'm guessing I'm going to play it solo, and then if I like it, maybe I'll share it with other people. But it feels like a nice, like, cozy snow day kind of solo game. I don't know. That's the vibe that I get, and I'm looking forward to this one. And I think I should be able to play. It doesn't look like crazy complicated. Oh, wait, last thing. Box. Why box so big? Silly. Unnecessary. Come on, do better. I say that while I'm like, this box is also stupid, but it's stupid and it's like full of stuff. This box didn't need to be this big. It didn't need to be this shape. I don't know. This one is full of things. And I just got this game. Like I think I boxed it up into this deluxe box like 3 days ago now. This is the last game that I bought in 2024. It is the last game that I will buy without doing my New Year's resolution of playing games before I buy them. Try before you buy kind of deal. So I haven't played this. I am just going off of Mike DeLisio's utter love of Dwellings of Eldervale and then this game. And I love Mike DeLisio. So baby, if you tell me that I'm going to love something, I believe you. I believe you. We agree on everything so far. So I'm super pumped about this one. As I was unboxing it and then reboxing it into this deluxe box, like you're just touching toys. That's what you're doing. You're playing with little toys. I love it when board games let me play with toys. I really appreciate it. It makes me feel like a child again. It really does. And this one has, I don't know, maybe some of the best components in any game that I've ever seen. So, yeah, I haven't played it. Maybe they suck when you're playing with them, but just touching them, whew, I was having a very good time. I'm very excited about this one, and I think that toyetic component energy is going to be enough to get this one played, even though it is a bit rules dense. I think people are going to see the stuff and say, I don't care how long it takes, teach me the rules. I want to play this game. All right, with that, you have seen every single game that I own that I have not played. You've seen all of them. So I leave this question, this series of questions to you. Which of these games, all of them, not just these three, which of the games that you've seen are you most interested to hear my thoughts on? Which ones, if you've played, which ones are you like, you're going to hate this one, you're going to love this one? I would love to know all that stuff. Which of the games just in general have you played? What have you tried? Any games on this list that you would like to try? All the questions that have sprung to your mind, answer them down below. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on all of these lovely pieces of cardboard and card and plastic and sometimes metal. Ooh, metal. Sometimes there's metal in this one. Yeah, because it's fancy. It's deluxe. So that is where I'm going to leave things. If you like this video, do the subscribe thing. I really do appreciate it. Like the video. All that stuff really does help, and it means a lot to me. It is very nice to see the numbers go up. Bigger number, better person is what they say. And unfortunately, I do believe them. So with that, I will leave you. Thank you for watching, and have a lovely whatever day this is, the 20-something.